Guys, welcome back to my channel. My name is Caitlin and today I am doing 2 more looks with the Spooked palette from Gourmande Girls. This is their collaboration with Doodles by the Bunny. I did one video, I will leave it linked for you, that was like my first impressions of the palette, testing it out, trying the brand for the first time. And you guys spoke in the comments and said we would love to see more looks with this palette even if you don't own it, just to get some inspiration. There are some fun things you can do with this, like what I'm wearing today, pinks and purples and things that, even though it's called Spooked and there are Halloween options, there's definitely other ways you can go with it too. Or like I said, maybe I'll just inspire you to do some different interesting color combinations to reach into your own collection. So that's what today's video is going to be, and if that sounds interesting to you, keep on watching. Before we get too far into the video, if you have not already, I hope you consider clicking that subscribe button. I upload 2 videos a week. It is totally free to subscribe, and I'd love to have you back again on the channel to hang out and chat in the comments. Alright, let's go ahead and get into look number 1. Alright, so I've already done my base and primed my eyelids. Today I'm primarily going to go in with the orangey shades. So I'm thinking maybe something a little more warm, but we'll see how I end up feeling. Definitely this orange matte, what's this called? Haunted, and definitely pumpkin. This looks so interesting. Yeah, I'm looking forward to it. And I think I'm actually going to start with putting Ghoul all over the lid to set my primer. I'm using an M441 to do this from Morphe. Not all eyeshadow primers do I set, but this particular Urban Decay one is pretty tacky, and I just find it easier for me personally to blend the shadows over top of it. If I do set it with something, you could always use a translucent powder, but I decided to go with the white since there is one in the palette, and since this will hopefully make the orange and all of the colors and everything pop and really stand out a lot more over this white base. So I'm going to use the same exact brush, and now I'm going to go into that orange matte called Haunted. I'm going to put the majority of the product out here in my crease, and then I'll blend it kind of in, like the remaining product, to the rest of the crease here. You're always going to get the most product, the most concentrated product, where you lay your brush down first. So I do strategically think about where I want the most product, because you can blend out from there, but you're going to have the most wherever you lay your brush down first. And don't be afraid to spend your time blending. That is really a good blend. What makes the final look, in my opinion, look good. Alright, now I'm going to a Morphe M456, and I'm going to go to Spellbook, which is this warm toned brown. I'm going to put that in the outer corner here. I'm also going to put a little bit on the lower lash line, just out in the outer corner there. I really need to do something with my hair, you guys. It's time. Like, I know I'm letting my natural hair color grow in, but like, something needs to happen. It's just lackluster. So I kind of am feeling pink for the ends. I don't know why right now. I know that's not like fall time or holiday at all, but that's just kind of what I'm feeling. So I think I might go for it. I don't know yet though. Just going back with that first brush to blend to the brown and to the orange, and even add a little bit more orange. I feel like that brown took over a little bit more than I wanted it to in the crease here. One eye, in my opinion, tell me if this happens to you, one eye always turns out better than the other. Like, I'm liking the shape better than this one. This one, it got a little droopy here. I might even try to take my foundation brush just to clean up the edge here, because I don't want that eye to look droopy. Yeah, that looks, at least to me, a lot better. And I think with the remaining part of the lid, I'm just going to take a flat brush. I'm going in with an Ace Beaute. This is a P3 brush, and I'm just going to put pumpkin on the rest of the lid. I did learn in my first impressions of this palette video, I'll leave that linked, that you really don't need glitter primer for these. They'll last just fine, and they don't crease or anything, so if it ain't broke, don't fix it. Some of these more putty-like formulas, I have found if you do put the glitter primer under them, then they do crease. Sorry, I was stunned. It doesn't look on the eye how I thought it would at all. It looks quite orange in the pan, but it actually looks a lot more green on the eye. Interesting. You know what? This would be kind of interesting to pair with this green apple bob. I don't know. See, and I'm doing 2 looks obviously in this video, but I was kind of debating. I knew I wanted to do one orange. I don't know if I want to do green or purple for the other one, because there are just a lot of combinations, possibilities that you can do with this palette. How cool. Oh, I like that a lot. And you know, guys, there's a reason this palette was ranked #1 in last month. Actually, I hadn't used the shade Pumpkin yet though. Like, that shade is one of the few I hadn't touched yet. Oh, it's so pretty. I'm telling you guys, if you're looking for a good spooky palette, you can still pick this up. I would, it's nice. All right, I'm gonna go in with Fright, this kind of deeper burgundy, with this angled brush from, I think it's called Spellbound Beauty, Spellbook Beauty, let me check. I was way off. It's Storybook Cosmetics. I'm glad I checked on that. This is a set my sister-in-law got me for my birthday, and I have been loving these brushes. The handles are so cool. I love the weight of them. Just the shapes of them are unique, some of them, to my collection. Like this one is probably the best brush I have for doing some sort of liner with shadow. Gonna dust away a little fallout I got from that like burgundy shade, but it's like it's wiping away pretty easily. Played with some new Ritual de Fille face products in my collection today. That's why I have a little bit of like an orangey-ish blush. It's Snapdragon is the shade, and I put their Alchemist highlighter on top. I really like it, and I use the, what's this called? The Thorn Milk. This is so cool. Like, it just comes on clear, but it looks so cool in the bottle. Yeah, I like the stuff I tried today from them a lot, which is a godsend because I was nervous since the last time I ordered them. I think I have it right here. Last time I ordered from them was this disaster, the Luminous Elixir 3-drop foundation. I'll leave that video linked. I really don't like this stuff. I just saw Teresa's decluttered this too, and she like loves that brand. And yeah, so I have like a whole freaking bottle of this, and it's awful. So I don't know how I'm gonna use that up. All right, and I think to finish up, most of that white I put as a base has disappeared. So I'm gonna go in with an Ace Beaute P4, and I'm gonna use this Ghoul Matte White again, just as an inner corner highlight. All right, so now I'm gonna do some mascara and a lip, and I will be back to show you the final look. All right, guys, and here is the completed look. I went with a bold lip for sure, green. Wanted to pull out the green in that pumpkin shade a little bit more. This is the shade Slime from Black Moon Cosmetics. I actually haven't worn it before, but if not Halloween, when is the time for this lip? You tell me that. It's kind of a metallic green. I will say it wasn't super opaque, like not as opaque as I would like the first time in application, so did do a couple layers of it to build it up. But I think this looks like a fun, spooky Halloween look, which, you know, perfect for the Spooked palette. So yeah, let's go ahead and get into look number 2. All right, here is look number 2, guys. I finished pretty much all of my makeup, but the eyes and the lips. Don't mind my damp hair. I just got out of the shower and I'm about to leave in about 6 minutes, so this is gonna be a quick one. So today I'm gonna focus on the purples, and I think I'm gonna incorporate a little pink again. I love that so much, that pink shade in my first impressions video that I did with this palette. I'm gonna start again by going in with Ghoul, that white. That was such a great base when we did that first look that I wanna do it again. All right, next up, using a Morphe M456. By the way, I did that first one with the Morphe M441. I tend to use a lot of the same brushes in every look. I just have found shapes that work for me that I really like. I'm gonna go in with Cauldron, which is this matte deep purple, and I'm gonna put that in just the outer corner. So I'm leaving the house because I'm about to drive to my friend's apartment, and I'm helping her today to move, because she just bought her first house and needs a little bit of help of moving. And Wesley and I have been in our first home for just 3 years. Like last week we hit 3 years here. And I know the stress of moving, especially when you're on a timeline and you have to be out of someplace, like out of your apartment by a certain date, and you're working full time trying to find like time to take to go move stuff. So it's an all hands on deck kind of day, but I'm So happy for her that she finally found a place. I know she has been looking and wanting one for a long time, but it's just really hard right now with real estate in the US. I don't know how it is where you live. So I'm really happy she finally found something. I'm really proud of her for working hard and accomplishing her goals. She's one of my closest friends. She's gonna be my maid of honor in my wedding. And yeah, I know it's gonna be work, but at the same time, like, I'm looking forward to seeing her again and just seeing how happy I know she's gonna be when she's starting to put all of her stuff in her home, because I remember that feeling of like, just like disbelief a little bit of like, wow, this is my place. Like, I own this. I still, 3 years later, sometimes feel that. So it's gonna be really cool to like get to see some of that too. Like, she's been in the house before and everything. It's not like it's her first time that I'm seeing her when she's got the keys or anything, but I just know it's different once stuff starts to go in. Yeah, that blended out really nicely. I mentioned this in the first look, but I concentrated most of the pigment down here so I could blend it up. And you can use one shade and almost make it look like 2 different shades if you do it that way. If you don't like that technique, you can always use like 2 different shades. Like, you could use a deeper one and then more of a mid-tone to blend it out, but this works if you've only got like this palette, one matte purple. You can kind of blend it and make it look a bit like 2 anyway. Okay, so I'm gonna put, I think, 2 shimmers on here, and I'm using my flat brush. It's the P3 from Beaute. This is the same brush I used for the shade Pumpkin in the first look, and I am gonna go in with Treat, which is this kind of purple shimmer. And then I'm gonna take Bloody, which I think ends up looking more pink on the eye than red. It looks a little more red in the pan, in my opinion. And I'm gonna put Treat on the outer portion just because I think that purple will blend. That's a rich purple. I think that purple will blend with that matte really well and give us a nice gradient. And I'm gonna lay it at a diagonal because if you're new here, I just find that leaves me more lid space, number 1, to put more than one shimmer, and number 2, I think it helps to give me more of that lifted, almost like almond shaped look that I really like for my eyes. Helps like lift the rest of the face, I feel like. And then periodically I might go back in with that first brush that I used for Ghoul, just to make sure the shimmer doesn't have like a harsh line in the crease. And I'm also taking periodically my Luxie 504 large angle brush. I did powder my face, so it's brushing off fine, but there is some fallout with both the purple shades so far. Maybe that's because they're purples and the way they're pressed, I'm not sure. But just beware of fallout, especially if you do your complexion first, the way I generally prefer to. And then on the same brush, just the other like clean side, I'll go in then with Bloody, which this is the shade that I did in my first impressions, and I think this was the only shimmer I used, with some more of like the browns and the grays, and did more of like a smoky look. Yeah, that pink and purple are really, really like jewel toned and vibrant. And then I'm gonna go back in a little bit with Treat, just so that purple doesn't get lost with Bloody. That is a strong look, friends. All right, once more with the first brush, just to make sure again that it's blended in the crease. I think I might even take a little bit more of Ghoul, just slightly dabbing in to make sure everything is blended in the crease. Now, if you're new to my channel, a lot of times I don't put shadow underneath. It tends to not stick very well on me. It like transfers and things or fades. I've heard someone suggest to put like eyeshadow primer underneath, and I haven't tried that, so maybe I will at some point, but not at this point in time, just because I don't wanna test it brand new when I'm trying to get out the door, you know? So for the inner corner, I'm gonna take my P4 tiny little Ace Beaute brush, and I am just dipping in a little bit to the highlighter called Mermaid Tears from Bitter Lace Beauty, and this is like a bluey pinky highlighter, and you can like sheer out for the face for sure, but I also find you can like make it a little more concentrated if you want to use it as an eyeshadow or as like an inner corner highlighter, the way I am. Then I'm gonna just do a little liquid liner. This is the Cocoa Edit liquid eyeliner. What is this? From Eyeko. And I'm gonna do mascara, just my normal Essence False Lashes that I like to use. I'll find a lip and I'll be back when the look is complete. Definitely not the tidiest, neatest, cleanest liner I've ever done, but you know, we're on a timeline here, people. This would look so good with a false lash too. I haven't worn a false lash in so long, you guys. It's not that I don't want to, just that, I don't know. Something's holding me back. I don't know what. I really should just get over it. So a lot of the looks I do that are a bit more bold would really benefit from and look good with a false lash. Alright, and there we have it, guys, the finished final second look. I just went ahead and added from Melt in shade Foxy, the All Day Everyday Ultra Matte Lip Liner. I got that in a mystery box. I'll leave it linked if you haven't seen it. Have been loving those so much. I got 2 of them. I think that's probably my 2 most used, most loved items from that mystery box. But yeah, this eye look totally matches what I was going for. I'm wearing my Sailor Moon shirt, and the pink and purple is just like, it's everything. I'm not super happy with how messy the liquid liner turned out, but that was just a I'm rushing, not taking my time sort of thing. I hope you guys enjoyed this video so much. Thanks so much for telling me you guys wanted to see more looks with this palette. I have loved playing with it, and I don't see that changing anytime soon. I hope you have a great rest of your day, and I hope to see you on the next one. Bye!